Hello, hello, my friends. Today is a very good day. We are going to be talking about my top 5 favorite facts about the Dodge brothers and their history. So, let's do it. Now, perhaps you aren't familiar with this channel. Well, we cover all things classic cars, primarily history, because that's kind of my interest and my hobby and my passion. And if that is your cup of tea as well, then go ahead and press the subscribe button. And if not, that's okay too. All right, now let's begin my top 5 favorite facts about the Dodge brothers' history. And fact number 1, they were rascals. Now, the Dodge brothers were incredibly talented and they were incredibly capable. And they also had a bit of a wild side to them. Yes, those rascals. They grew up pretty much inseparable in their father's foundry shop, where they were put to work, and that's where they really learned to use their hands. And they were known for causing mischief, and that knack for mischief followed them into their adult life. They were not exactly welcomed into Detroit society, though they were able to buy a little bit of tolerance, as money can do. In fact, Horace was the main benefactor of the Detroit Symphony Orchestra. However, the good graces of that did not last long, and the pair were known for wreaking havoc. John got into particular trouble when him and his buddy jumped a lawyer outside of a Detroit saloon. It was that particular instance that their money could not buy them grace. So, my fact number 1 is how rascallion those 2 brothers were. All right, now let's talk about fact number 2. Favorite fact number 2. The Dodge brothers were the #1 parts supplier in the USA for Detroit automakers. Founded in 1900, they would quickly turn into the United States' most revered and most respected auto parts supplier. Really, you could kind of consider them the De Dion of the United States. And what you could consider one of their biggest breaks was when Horace created and got a patent on the dirt-proof ball bearing. And also in 1902, the Dodge brothers would win a contract with Ransom Olds, such a great name, win a contract with Ransom Olds to build transmissions for the Old Motor Vehicle Company, which would at some point in time transform into the Oldsmobile Company. And in fact, they were the largest parts manufacturer in Detroit until 1914, when they decided to split with Ford and create their own car. So that kind of led me to a nice little segue to cover fact number 3 of my favorite facts about the Dodge brothers.
I somehow lost the clip introducing fact number 3. It is the fact that the Dodge brothers owned a major chunk of Ford Motor Company, and Henry Ford hated them for it.
So old Henry Ford was not exactly an instant success. He had a handful of bankruptcies and failures underneath his belt. And in fact, I'm going to digress, which if you know this channel, you should be shocked I haven't done this till fact number 3 already. All right, it's a miracle. Allow me to. All right, so in fact, in regards to his many bankruptcies and failures that he did have before he succeeded, and applause to him for keeping on trying. I'm not saying failures are a bad thing, that's for sure. But one of his failures did result in us getting Cadillac. You see, Henry Ford was booted out of one of his early Ford companies, and a board of directors sent in Henry Leland, old Leland, to go in and liquidate the manufacturing company that Henry Ford had just left. And Henry Leland was a super clever guy, all right? He is both the founder of Lincoln and Cadillac. And so instead of liquidating this manufacturing company, he said, let me make another car manufacturer. And that is the birth of Cadillac. And that is also why Henry Ford absolutely loathed Henry Leland. And he would later lowball Henry Leland to purchase Lincoln. So, little digression, we'll get right back to it. So, in spite of the multiple failures with Ford, the Dodge brothers decided to go ahead and take a gamble with him. And they ended up with a sweet deal of owning 10% of Ford Motor Company. You're gonna see a little bit of a trend with Henry Ford kind of hating people. I'm gonna bring that up. He was a kooky guy, that's for sure. He wasn't very nice to his own son, Edsel. So, anyways, let's get back to it. So the Dodge brothers own 10% of the Ford Motor Company. And you know who doesn't like them? Henry Ford. He apparently has a particular issue with the fact that they have red hair. He thought they were evil for some reason, and like I said, he was a bit kooky. Talented. Sometimes genius requires kookiness. And you see, eventually the Dodge brothers would want out. All right, they didn't see Ford moving in the direction they thought they needed, and they didn't see the vision in the company. And so they took their initial investment, and at the end of that, plus their dividends, they left with a very pretty penny. They left there with $35 million, which would come very handy when they decided to create their own car. So there's no way I'm not going to say this epic quote by John Dodge. Okay, so John Dodge, the Dodge brothers, like I said, they were funny rascals and clever rascals. So John Dodge said, and I quote, "Someday, people who own a Ford are going to want an automobile." Burn! All right, now let's go ahead and talk all about fact number 4 of my favorite facts about the history of the Dodge brothers. And after this fact, I'm going to treat myself to a beer. All right, now fact number 4 is the Pancho Villa expedition. Epic, all right? Though the Pancho Villa expedition was formally referred to by the US government as the Mexico expedition, but it was really just the US government hunting down Pancho Villa. And the Dodge brother vehicles of the day were used in that expedition. In 1916, the US government sent General Blackjack Pershing down to Mexico to hunt Pancho Villa. And with that, Pershing put in an order to the US government that he wanted 250 of the Dodge brothers automobiles. He said only a vehicle of that caliber could withstand the rugged Mexico territory. So if I can figure out how to be techie enough, I will put, and who knows if that's gonna happen, I'm gonna put an epic video, inset a video of the awesome footage of the Dodge brothers vehicles just tearing it up in terrain. It's pretty awesome. If I can't figure out how to do that, I'll just put a link down below. Please click on it. It's worth the time viewing. It's pretty awesome. Also, during this expedition, there was this major firefight led by George S. Patton. Yes, Patton was out there wreaking havoc in Mexico as well. There was a major firefight at the villa of one of Pancho Villa's right-hand men, and it resulted in the death of 3 on the team of Pancho Villa. And what did they do? Well, this was a different time. They strung them across the hood of the Dodge brothers vehicles. So frankly, that expedition actually proved unsuccessful as far as their goal of assassinating Pancho Villa. But what it did do was prove that the Dodge brothers automobiles were some of the most rugged of the day. Side note, apparently Pancho Villa was also a Dodge guy. He would be assassinated in his Dodge brothers vehicle in 1923. So I said I was gonna go get a beer. After the 4th one, we have the last of the 5 facts that you absolutely should know about the Dodge brothers vehicles. And I hope my beer is cold because it wasn't cold when I put it in the freezer. Ooh, oh, it feels cold. Turn off this light because that's the kind of person I am. Turning off the lights. All right, so this is, let's go, the Voodoo Ranger Juicy Hazy IPA. It's freaking delicious, 7.5 ABV, and it is fabulous, especially if it's nice and cold, which it is, because I put it in the freezer. So if you see any cars you think I should make a history video on, or some kind of a video on, let me know. There's quite a few. There are also, I made a lot of car videos on some of the ones behind me already, so there's that. Okay, I'm gonna gotta open it. It is an Indian Pale Ale brewed with spice. So nice, very nice. Oh gosh. consider the fifth fact. And I can't say fifth favorite fact because it's not appropriate. Let's just call it the fifth fact, all right? That's important to know. That is, they passed away in their prime. I consider it their prime. The Dodge brothers had so much more talent in the automotive world to give. And I consider them one of the key players in the automotive arena that passed away considerably early in their lifetimes. And I always wonder, what would the automotive world look like today if they hadn't? Both of the Dodge brothers passed away in 1920, which is 1 year before this 1921 Dodge. John passed away due to the Spanish flu, although it shouldn't be called Spanish flu. Its origins can be tracked down to like a Kansas Army base, but Spain was the only one that's actually keeping track of the influenza, and so they got the crappy moniker. Anyways, John passed away due to the Spanish flu. And Horace is believed to have passed away from either pneumonia or complications, cirrhosis of the liver, all within the same year. And I can't help but think what kind of innovations those two talented minds could have brought the automotive world if they hadn't passed. All right, so that's it. That's the 5, let's say 4 of my favorite facts, and one you just ought to know. Did any of those facts surprise you? Could you hold your weight in a fight with John Dodge or Horace? Do you have a fear of redheads like Henry Ford did? Do you think jumping a lawyer outside of a Detroit saloon is a wise idea? I hope you say no. I hope you enjoyed this little informal trip through a little bit of Dodge Brothers history, because I always like doing it. If that's your cup of tea, press subscribe, hit the like button, find me on Instagram or social medias, or Facebook or TikTok or whatever those things are. And let's take a nice little look at the innards and all the special pieces of the Dodge vehicle, and have a great day. Cheers!